4.5 years, as most of my regular subscribers are aware, I've had the JSP Powercap Active IP powered respirator. Apart from getting quite a few questions over the years about this piece of apparatus, I've decided to run through what it does for me, how to maintain it to get the best possible results from it, and this particular model I had from the Toolpost, and Peter Helmsley, who is the owner, will be more than willing to answer any further technical questions you might have if I don't cover them in this video. I'll put a link to the Toolpost website below in the description, as well as the manufacturer JSP, which stands for Johnston Safety Products, and they've been in the business of safety protection products for over 50 years, so they have a lot of expertise. What I'll do is run through what you get out of the box, how to charge the battery, change the filters, and go through as much detail as I possibly can. So the first thing to note is that the box is a carry box. It's a very solid plastic box, and I actually keep mine in there when I'm not using it because it protects it. Now when you take the Powercap out of the box, it already comes with two filters installed, as well as a battery with an amount of residual charge in it, and that's connected as well. The only thing that doesn't come as standard are the visor overlays. I've actually attached one on here, and that protects the visor from scratches, etc. But I will go through the fitting of those as the video progresses. So you get the Powercap, you get the charging dock for the battery, and indeed the power cord, and the power cord is interchangeable with different regions plugs as well, and that comes in the box, and the all-important flow meter, an instruction manual, and some details regarding standards achieved for the bump cap. Now with these lithium ion batteries, it is suggested that when you get the cap to begin with, you discharge the battery completely, and you do that by connecting it to the cap and running it as you would normally until it runs down. When it's completely devoid of charge, then put it on charge, and it takes approximately 12 to 14 hours for the initial charge. And then after that you have 8 hours life of that battery, and when you recharge it, it would just take and charge overnight, depending how much depletion of charge there is in the battery. You can't overcharge the batteries because it has a system to prevent that happening. So it's a no overload charging system. A brief overview before I go into more detail is that the Powercap sits like so. When you press the button, it activates a fan, and there's a motor in this housing here. That fan draws 160 litres a minute of freshly filtered air over your face, and it creates a positive pressure, which means there is no misting or fogging of the visor while you're wearing it, breathing, even talking through it. The air is then passed through these holes underneath, which fit under your chin, which creates the positive pressure. The advantage, as I say, is no fogging, great with glasses and a beard, because you don't need that sort of tight seal to get it to operate because of the way the helmet works. And the other big advantage, in the hotter weather, in the summer, it is really cool and keeps you nice and cool while you're working. Now we'll go into the one of the most important things. Earlier on I mentioned the Powercap Active IP. It is very, very important, especially for woodworkers, woodturners like ourselves, that this is the model you go for if you decide to go for this Powercap. The IP stands for impact protection, which means the visor is rated to an impact requirement, which I'll go into in a minute. And indeed, the bump cap meets a certain level of legislation. The ordinary power cap does not. It has a flexible visor and indeed a flexible cap area. That cap is mainly used in agricultural instances and is very popular apparently with pigeon fanciers. I'll leave you to work that one out. Here we have the flow meter, and what that flow meter does is tell us that the motor and the fan and the airflow is correct, where the flap there must go up to the green. So what I'll do is I'll zoom in and show you that in operation. Take the flow meter, it has a rubber seal here, and you affix it to the extractor port inside, like so. I'll turn it round so you can see that's better. There you go. So you should be able to see the flow. Now when you turn the fan, turn the cap on, that flap should go up into the green, as it does. If that flap should go into the red when you put on the fan, it means one of two things. Possibly your battery needs recharging, and the other most likely thing is that your filters are clogged, your actual cartridge is clogged, or your pre-filters are clogged, and I'll go into that in a second, as I say, and this is an indication that you need to change. The subject of filters, the cartridge clips very easily onto the helmet, a third of a turn, and on top of the cartridge there is a cover, obviously, and under the cover that houses the pre-filter. To prolong the life of your actual cartridge as long as possible, ensure that the pre-filters are changed regularly. You will know when they need changing purely visually, and that will prolong the life of your cartridge. The manufacturer recommends every 3 or 4 months to change the cartridge. They do come with a pre-filter installed, and they come in packs of 10, again available from the Toolpost, and the cartridges come in a double pack, one for each side, and again, as I say, the cartridge with a pre-filter. I can't stress enough the importance of maintaining your filters. Also on the rim there is a label, and there is a space there for you to put the date that you've actually installed the cartridge. So again, as I say, there are 3 locating pegs there corresponding. You merely locate that and twist a third, and here the same, twist a third, and there we have the filters easily changed and installed. The visor, as I explained in my opinion, should always have a protective overlay. They come also in packs of 10, and again they can be purchased from the Toolpost, and they merely have 2 adhesive strips here. You peel away the protective coating there, and you merely place it centrally there and stick to the side of the visor. And believe me, this does prolong the life of your visor. To run through the technical spec very briefly, the filters comply to EN 12949. The motor provides 160 litres per minute of freshly filtered air. The impact protected visor meets the EN 166.B.1 safety legislation, and last and by no means least, the bump cap gives head protection to EN 812. Now those are the basic specs of this machine. If you require any further information or more detailed information, either go to the JSP website, and again, as I say, I'll put a link in the description below, or indeed to the Toolpost, and speak to one of the technicians there, or indeed Peter Helmsley himself, and he'll only be too pleased to answer any queries you may have. Now, one of the most important things with anything like this is wearing it. Now, it comes in, including the battery and the filters, at 440 grams, so it really is incredibly light, and I find it extremely comfortable to wear. I've worn it for 4 hours, 5 hours at a time, not just turning, but going out cutting logs, whatever, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. It's extremely comfortable. There is a strap at the back which has a tab on it, so the best way, in my opinion, to put it on, and this is just my view, is you turn the unit on first. The reason for that is that when you initially put it on, you're going to be breathing, hopefully, and that will start to fog up the visor, and then it will clear, but if you have it running before you put it on, that won't happen. So you literally just put it on like so, tighten up the back band until it's comfortable for your personal wearing, and the job is done. Now, when taking the visor off, keep the motor running, undo the strap at the back and slip it off. The reason I suggest that is for the same reason that it doesn't fog up while you're taking the helmet off. So there is a overview of the JSP Powercap Active IP. I make no apologies for stating this again. If you are interested, go across to the Toolpost and speak to Peter Helmsley, but ensure that you're asking questions about the IP version. That's the impact protection version. Okay, I hope you found this of some interest, and it gives you some food for thought, and you will be able to then have an informed decision before you make your choice. Well, again, thanks very much indeed for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. I'd like to also make a mention about the Make It Matter auction for autistic children. I was speaking to Steve the other night, and apparently it looks as if we've been pledged around the €2,000 mark, which is about £1,700 sterling and about 2,100 US dollars. So an incredible achievement by Steve for organising this. I'd like to thank all the participants who gave their time to make items for this auction, and a big thank you to all the people that supported it and bid for these incredible items that were on offer. So again, thank you very much. Thank you, Steve, for all your hard work, and thanks everybody for getting involved. Cheers.